Hi, my name's Mitch, and today I'll be giving you an overview of how to use your new email marketing software. So let's start by logging into the system. So as we log in, you can see that we're at the home screen, where we have a graph that shows our contact activity for the last 7 days. Because we're starting from scratch, you'll see that this is empty. We also have Getting Started links here, which, if you're just logging in for the first time, guide you through everything you need to do to create and send your first email campaign. So simply clicking on each of the links here will run you through the steps you need to do to create your first campaign. You can see down here we have help articles, as well as a help link up here, which steps you through everything. So if you have any questions about creating a campaign, what a bounced email is, if you see any error messages, if you have problems importing, if you want to know about email templates, custom fields or contact lists, everything's here, and everything in these help sections will guide you through using the product. So you can see the questions. When you click a question, you'll see the answer, and you can just browse questions like this. You can also search up here if you're looking for a particular topic. Across the top here we have the menu, which breaks everything down for us. So we have contact lists. Now, a contact list is where you store your contact details. Contacts, obviously you can view the details of all contacts in your lists. You can add contacts or import them, which we'll look at later. Email campaigns are under here. Email campaigns are the actual content that you send out to your subscribers. So HTML and text email campaigns that contain images and links. Autoresponders are automatic emails that are sent to your contacts automatically at a time that you define, which we'll look at later. Custom fields, which can be used to collect additional contact information such as first name, interests, country, hobbies, that kind of thing. Forms, which are website forms you can place on your website to add new contacts to your list. And also stats, which give you detailed statistics for your email campaigns, autoresponders, lists, and user accounts. So to actually get into a menu, you simply click on the drop down and then click on the menu option. So you can see here we're on the View Contact List page. Now I have a few lists set up here. So when you have a list, you have the name, the date that it was created, and how many contacts are in that list. We also have a few options over here. So we can view contacts, search contacts, or add a contact. So to go into a link, just click on the link. And here you can see the sample contacts that I have in my list. You'll also notice along here that I can actually see the different lists I have simply by clicking that. And I can switch to a link like that. I can also view all contacts across my list or search contacts. Email campaigns are along here. To create a new campaign, I just click on Create an Email Campaign, and I can use the step-by-step wizard to create a campaign. Custom fields are, as I mentioned earlier, personalization options, so you can collect first name, location, interests, hobbies, basically any details you like about a contact. So when you create a custom field, again, you use the simple wizard. You can choose the type of field you want to create and also give it a name. So in here you could put interests or whatever you like. Under website forms, here I've created a sample newsletter sign-up form. And when I click on Get HTML, I have the HTML that will allow me to add the form to my website. And that will allow website visitors to actually join my list. And under stats, we can see detailed statistics for the email campaigns that we send out. So we have an overview here. We have open statistics, which is how many people opened my email. Link statistics, which is how many people clicked on my links in the email and which links they clicked. Bounce statistics, which are how many emails couldn't be delivered, how many people unsubscribed from my list, and how many people also forwarded my email to their friends. So now that we've had a quick look at how the actual system works, let's actually jump right in and create our first email campaign. Okay, let's now run through a quick Getting Started guide. In this example, I'll assume that we're a cruise ship company and we're looking to capture lead details for people who might be interested in taking a cruise with us. So to start, I'll create a new contact list where I'll store the details of the leads. Let's call it cruise ship leads. So now I have a contact list where I can store the details of my contacts. Now the actual details that I store are defined as custom fields. So I'll create a few custom fields. I want to store the first name. I'll make that a required field. I'll assign that to my cruise ship list. I also want to capture their age, which will be a number field, so that my marketing people can send emails to the leads based on their age and their demographics. I'll create one final one called interested in. So I'll create this as a list of checkboxes. Now in here I'll put all the different cruises that I offer. So in this demo, let's set up a few different cruises. So you see that I've set up a few different values in there. Okay, so now that I've created the different custom fields, we have age, first name, and interests. I'll actually create a website form which I can place on my website to start getting contacts into my list. So I'll call this subscription form for cruise ship leads. Now, I'll choose the fields that I want to appear on the website form. You can see they appear down here. So email address is required. I'll actually rearrange them just by dragging and dropping like this. And then I'll hit next. So here I can put in the details of the confirmation page. I'll just leave that as default. And also for the thank you page and the thank you email that will be sent to new leads. These are completely optional, but I'll just leave them enabled for this demo. Now when I hit save, I have the HTML here that I can paste onto my website. So let's look at doing that now. Okay, you can see that I've pasted the code for the website form onto my website now. And if I just fill out the form, you can see that all of the different custom fields I created are shown here, and I can choose the options. Now I'm on the list. So when I come back here and view contacts, you can see that I'm on the list. Now you can see also the age, my name, and the interests I've put in as well. So that will be the same for every contact. You can also edit contacts too, simply by clicking edit. And we'll also see here that there's one contact on our list. So that's really how simple it is to create a contact list, a website form, add it to your website, and let people start subscribing to your contact lists. We've already seen how easy it is to add a website form to your website to let people subscribe to your lists. But you can also add contacts to your list in a few other ways. So the first way is by typing in their details manually, or you can also import them from a file if you can export them from an existing program that you have, such as Outlook, Salesforce, or any other CRM or database that you have. They all support the CSV file format. So let's look at how to add a contact one by one. So we choose the list we want to add them to, and you can see here we have a form that we can simply fill out. So we'll put in their details here, and you can choose their options. When you hit save, they're added to your list, and you can keep adding like that. So we'll just look at the contact that I just added. You can see all of his details are in here. Really simple. And then when you send a campaign, you can choose to send it to these contacts as well. They're no different from any other contact in your list. Now we can also import contacts from a file. So we'll choose the list to add them to, and then we can just upload the file from our computer. So in this example, I'm using a simple CSV file, which is just a text file, and it looks like this. So I have the field names along here, each separated by a comma, and then the details of each contact, one per line. So with the different details separated by commas as well. So that's the file I'm choosing now. Now on this step, I simply map the files from my import field into the custom fields. This is done automatically for me because I've specified the correct field names. When I click next, their details are imported. So on here you can see that the contacts I had in my import file are now in my email marketing section. So when I click view, I can see all of their details as they were imported from the CSV file. Really simple, and I can obviously send to these contacts as well. They're no different from any other contact on my list. So that's how easy it is to add a contact by filling out a form or import multiple contacts from a file. Okay, so let's now look at how easy it is to create and send our first email campaign. Let's create a campaign for a cruise to Japan, following along the lines that we're a cruise ship company. So we'll put in a name for the campaign, and let's create a HTML campaign so we can include links and images. And you can see down here you can choose from any of the included email campaigns. They're really professionally designed and they look great. So in our example, let's choose a travel one, which looks like this. Hit next. Now you can see on here we can design our email campaign. So I'll put in a subject line. And in here I can design the actual content of my email. Let's call this our tagline. Now you can see in here anything that has percentage signs around it is a custom field, and that will be replaced with each contact's real email address when it's sent. So let's add a bit of personalization here as well. So in this blank spot here, I'll actually insert the contact's first name. So I click insert a custom field, choose the first name. Now you can see it's put in the placeholder there, so when this campaign's actually sent, that will be replaced with each contact's first name. So if I want to actually put in a few details about my Japanese cruise, I'll just copy some text I've created earlier and I can paste that into here. Really easy, just like Microsoft Word. So I'll do some text formatting, and let's also insert an image just to pretty up the campaign a bit. So I've got a few images on my hard drive which I'll upload, one of a mountain and also one of Mount Fuji. So let's insert this one and align it to the left so it wraps around the text. You can see how great they look in the middle of a campaign. Let's also put in another one down here of Mount Fuji and align it to the right. So that's my campaign, and it took me just a few minutes to create using my web browser. So I've personalized the email, I've put in the details of my fictitious cruise to Japan, I've put in my company name, and I've chosen a subject line. So when I hit save and exit, that campaign's been created and it's now ready to send. So to send a campaign, I can just click send on here. I'll send it to everyone on my cruise ship leads list. Or alternatively, I can actually filter who receives this campaign as well. Let's do that. So let's only send this campaign to people who are interested in going for a cruise to Japan. You can see on here we can filter by all of the custom fields we've created, which is really powerful. So on this page I can just put in some advanced options. I can also choose whether to send the campaign now or send it later. So I can put in a date here and the campaign will start sending on that date, which is really handy if you want to send a newsletter at the end of the month and you don't want to send it right now. So let's send this one now, for example. So when I hit schedule my email campaign, it will actually be sent out to all contacts in my list who chose cruising to Japan as one of their interests, which is a really great way to send only to contacts who you want to filter. So let's have a look at how the email campaign looks in my inbox. Okay, here I am in my inbox, and you can see that the emails come through to me. You can see the subject line, and when I click in the email, you can see that it looks exactly how it did when it was designed in the email program. So it's been personalized with my name, as we saw when we were creating the campaign, as well as my email address. Now this was %% first name you would have remembered from creating the campaign. The images we've put in are there, an automatic unsubscribe link, and all of the information that we put in. So that's really how easy it is to create and send your first email campaign. Okay, so once we've sent a campaign, we can actually look at statistics for that campaign. So how many people opened the email and how many people clicked on the links in our email as well. So we can do that from the stats menu and choose email campaign statistics. So we've only sent one email campaign so far, which was our cruise to Japan in 2009 campaign. So we can see over here there's different actions for the stats. We can view stats, export them, print them or delete them. So let's view them. Now you can see on the overview page, we can see how many people opened our email and how many people haven't, as well as a statistic snapshot. So how long it took to send our campaign, the average open and click-through rates. Along here we have advanced stat options, so we can see open stats, which is how many people opened our emails and when. So you can see the details of everyone that opens your email down here. And you can also see them in a monthly view along here, or you can specify a custom date range to see, which is really handy. So you can see that Joe opened your email down here, so you might want to email him back or give him a call. You can see which links people clicked and when. So in this sample, one link has been clicked in my campaign. It was clicked by this contact, and this is the link he clicked, which is a sample link to our Japan 2009 cruise. And here's the exact date and time he clicked on that as well. There are also other stats up here for bounce stats, how many people unsubscribed from your contact list, and how many times your email was forwarded to a friend, which is all built into the email marketing program. So a very comprehensive overview of stats from here, which you can use to see how your email campaigns are doing, how many people are opening them, and also which leads you should be following up with either via email or by phone.